Well, we are back with essentially what is breaking news. Breaking news. And why am I here with Zaxby's? A little bit of an unusual item for this channel. Well, I'm going to explain that here in just a second. Let me tell you what I got real quick, though. And I'm going to tell you why I have this. All right. There's a specific reason. And by the thumbnail and the title, you got a general idea. We got a Big Zax snack. Y'all know what comes with that. 3 pieces of chicken, some french fries, and toast. And I also picked this up because I've never had them. These are Zaxby's egg rolls, which I didn't even know they had these. Don't know how long they've had them. So we will try those at the end of the video and just see what they're like. Spicy Zax sauce, of course, because I like it spicy. And that is a great segue into the purpose of today's video. It's actually not Zaxby's. No, it is the new restaurant that we are getting in Florence in a sweet location. So let me set this up by telling you that an article was released today. It's brand new. And it was shared with me, brought to my attention. I got a message that said, hey, have you seen this? No, I have not. I opened the article, and to my surprise, I found out that we are getting a Dave's Hot Chicken right here in Florence, South Carolina. Now, in the editing phase of this video, I may try to go find this, but this graphic may or may not be on your screen by the time we get to the end of this. But the Post and Courier, who released this article, did a poll a couple weeks back, and they asked if you could have any fast food restaurant chain in Florence, what would it be? And they gave multiple choice. You could put other and type it in. And if I remember correctly, I put 3 places, but I know I had 2 for sure. And the 2 word that I remember certainly were Shake Shack and Dave's Hot Chicken. And then I think I had Culver's on there also, but I can't remember if I put that in or not. Now, the link to the Post and Courier's article is going to be down in the description of this video. I'm not going to read it, and I'm not going to get into a lot of the details because that article is behind a paywall. You need to support our local reporters, our local news outlet in the Post and Courier. Get a subscription to the Post and Courier. It's good stuff. They bring breaking news like this. They do a really good job with that. So the link's down in the description. If you want to read the article, I encourage you, subscribe. It's not that expensive, and it's good, up-to-date information for our community. With that being said, what I want to focus on is tell you what Dave's Hot Chicken is and why you should be excited about it. So why do I have Zaxby's in front of me? The closest Dave's Hot Chicken location to us is right off Beltline Boulevard in Columbia, right off Gardner's Ferry Road in Columbia. When I first went a few years ago, some friends of mine asked me, they knew I was going, we had talked about it. They said, well, what's it like? What's it comparative to? To which I said, in Florence, we were talking about Florence, the most comparative thing I would say would be Zaxby's. And I guess now you could say Slim Chickens also. We didn't have one at the time. But I would say the most comparative thing is Zaxby's. Dave's Hot Chicken's menu is very simple. They have these very large chicken tenders and crinkle fries. And that's the core of the entire menu. Now, what you can do is you can put their tenders on slider buns, come with coleslaw. All of their meals come with pickles. Or you can just have the tenders and fries, and they are seasoned crinkle fries. Condiments-wise, they also come with honey and their Dave's Hot Sauce. And I'm going to make a controversial statement. Dave's Hot Sauce, you're going to love. It is better than Chick-fil-A sauce. I said it. And I'm on the Chick-fil-A sauce bandwagon too, don't get me wrong. So that's a big statement coming from me because you're probably shocked a little bit. You're taken aback that I said that. But I did say that, and I meant it, and I think that you're going to see why. Now, the tenders, this is a Zaxby's chicken tender, and I mean, you see that? It's about the width of my finger. Dave's tenders are each like half of a chicken breast. They're very large. I mean, each one is like that big. They're very big. Like I said, you can just eat them that way, or you could put them on a slider with the coleslaw. And that's it. That's the whole menu. Seasoned crinkle fries. Now, I've been a few times, and that location in Columbia is always done well by me. Fries were well seasoned. Everything was fresh. They do a good job. Now, you know, I talk about it a lot. Chain restaurants are very location dependent. Let's just hope that our location can do well. But if they can, and they can match what I've seen out of the location in Columbia, you're not going to be disappointed. Now, another reason I want to do this video, not just because I'm excited about it, but I want you to be excited about it. I have a personal belief that when Wingstop was coming to town, there was a lot of buzz and excitement, and there's not going to be as much for Dave's. And that's fine. I'd rather people's expectations not be high because they don't know, and then they can go in and be surprised. That can be a good thing. But on the flip side, I will say it's unfortunate. The reason that the anticipation for Wingstop was so high, in my estimation, is this. We were getting Wingstop commercials on TV locally for like years before before the news even broke that we were getting one. There were rumblings that we might, a lot like Publix, like we were hearing us going here, going there. Remember Shane's Rib Shack was supposed to be the Wingstop. I don't know if you remember that story or not. No clue how valid it was. Don't know, don't care really. But we were getting Wingstop commercials even back then, even before that on television. So people were familiar. People that had never been to Wingstop had this anticipation and excitement building. We don't have Dave's Hot Chicken commercials. I don't even know if Dave's Hot Chicken does commercials. But if they do, we haven't been seeing them here for years. That's going to cause it to be slept on. As I'm doing this video, surely there are going to be some of you out there that have never even heard of Dave's Hot Chicken. And so what they do is this. As stated, their menu just consists of these chicken tenders and the different ways that you can accessorize them or not. And then you can get them in a variety of ways. There's, I think, 5 different ways. You can get them plain, so with no seasoning. It's like mild, medium, hot, extra hot, and Carolina Reaper. Now, if you're like me and you really like spicy food, you're going to love Dave's. That's the draw. It's Dave's hot chicken restaurants. That's the draw. They take these chicken tenders and they don't just sprinkle them. They douse them. They completely cover them from end to end, side to side in their dry seasoning. So whatever heat level you select, it's a seasoning, unless you get them plain, of course, which I don't recommend. But they're really good. The tenders are really good. You could eat them plain. For transparency and relatability, I usually get mine extra hot. I like hot food. That's what I'm there for. I go with extra hot. I want to sweat a little bit. I want my nose to run a little bit. That's how I want it to be. I've had the Carolina Reaper one time because you got to try it, right? I ate that chicken tender driving down I-20. Big mistake. That was not a wise decision on my part. The Carolina Reaper is hot. It's unbearably hot. It's a novelty. I can't imagine that they sell a lot of those to people that actually eat that as their meal choice. But then again, some people would say the same thing about people like me that get the extra hot. They'd say that, why, I can't believe that you enjoy eating that. But the Carolina Reaper is a whole nother level. If you've ever had a Carolina Reaper, you know. Is it as hot as an actual Carolina Reaper? No. But it's hot. It's very hot. I know it's a franchise, and I know I'm very hard on franchises here on this channel, but I am very excited about it because I always say, even though I'm tough on franchises, they do have a place and a purpose. They do have value. We needed this, really. This is a great addition to our growing food scene. We need to get caught up a little bit. It's a huge upgrade for what we had in that location, which I'm not going to tell you. You got to read the article. Huge upgrade. I mean, it's a big addition. Just like I mentioned that the Bojangles going downtown, people were negative on it. I said, no, this is positive. Even though it's Bojangles, even though we have multiple Bojangles in town already, there's value in this because you want to have these brands, these relatable names. You want to have those mingled in with your mom and pops to have a real healthy, robust food scene. You really need both, and possibly not one more than the other. If I had to pick, I'd rather have a town full of quality mom and pops. Yes, I would. But ideally, in reality, just the way society is, you really need both. You're probably going to have both. This is a great addition. Listen, I will never intentionally steer y'all in the wrong direction. This is a big asset. This is good. So anyways, look them up. Dave's Hot Chicken. If you've never been, the closest one to us is in Columbia, right there off Garner's Ferry Road. I would say, though, don't go. Another thing I'm not going to tell you, you're going to have to read the article, but the timeline on this, you're going to be very pleased. All right? So I think you waited this long. You didn't even know it existed. Just wait. That way you can go support our local establishment. But do what you want. So when I saw that this morning, because obviously I was personally excited about it, I had to come share it. So there it is. I'm having Zaxby's because that's what I would most closely compare it to. But it is nuanced. It is different. And me personally, I think y'all are going to love it. I hope you do. So with that being said, yes, link to the Post and Courier's article is down in the description. Please go check it out and support the Post and Courier. And shout out to them. And unfortunately, I didn't get the author's name of the article memorized. I shot out the door immediately. But there it is. Thank you to this reporter, journalist, for getting that news out to us. Now, with that said, one thing you're probably not going to find at Dave's Hot Chicken anytime soon, or at least not now, is an egg roll. I like egg rolls. This is immediately kind of crispier looking than an egg roll from your average Chinese restaurant. Let's see what we got. They call this their sweet and spicy sauce. Right there, Zaxby's sweet and spicy sauce. Not bad. Definitely very crunchy. The filling is lacking completely in flavor. It's going to be a no for me. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with it, but it's lacking in flavor. It tastes Like if you deep fried an egg roll that you got out of the freezer section, frozen section out of a box at the grocery store, that's what this reminds me of. And honestly, some of those, I mean, I've had before, probably a little bit better than this. Definitely pretty much any Chinese restaurant or any restaurant that I know of that serves egg rolls in Florence, typical dine-in, sit-down restaurant, are better than these. That's just being honest. All right, so there you have it. Listen, I'm doing this assuming that many of you have never even heard of Dave's Hot Chicken before. Also knowing that many of you have probably heard the name, but didn't really know what they served or what they do. Is it good? What should you think? I'm telling you, and when I told my friends that day, I said, after I went, they were like, so what would you say? I said that if we had one, it would get my business more frequently than Zaxby's. Not taking anything away from Zaxby's, but the Dave's Hot Chicken is really good. Don't think that it's just because of the hot nuance, the novelty of hot and spice. It's not that. Those chicken tenders are solid. Their seasoned fries, crinkled seasoned fries, I would argue are better than Zaxby's are. And the Dave's hot sauce is top notch. I mean, it's an elite sauce in the game. So I bet there's mom and pops. I've heard of mom and pops places, smaller places that are doing hot chicken that are better than Dave's. But for a franchise, Dave's is an excellent one from all of my experience. All right, so I'm just reporting to you what I know to be true. Sounds like they're going to be here sooner than later. I'm not going to tell you where or when. Article's down in the description. Please go check it out. Support the Post of the Courier. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, also please give it a like. It helps us out a ton to continue to produce content like this to put out there. So if you enjoyed the video, please do that. Small gesture, it helps a ton. Really do appreciate it. Looking forward to Dave's. Looking forward to seeing y'all around town. In the meantime, y'all take care. God willing, we'll see you on the next one.